Healing Hearts. A healthcare worker's pandemic odyssey. In a world consumed by the relentless grip of an unprecedented pandemic, healthcare workers stood at the front line, their unwavering dedication and resilience tested to the limits. This is the story of Lisa Mitchell, a compassionate nurse, and her journey through the darkest hours of the pandemic, as she navigated the labyrinth of fear, loss, and despair, ultimately emerging as a beacon of hope, a symbol of unwavering courage, and a testament to the indomitable human spirit. Part 1: The Unforeseen Storm. The pandemic had arrived like a thief in the night, silently encroaching upon the world, leaving chaos and uncertainty in its wake. Hospitals across the globe transformed into battlegrounds, as healthcare workers faced a relentless onslaught of suffering and despair. Lisa Mitchell, a dedicated nurse, found herself thrust into the eye of this unprecedented storm, her life forever changed by the crisis that unfolded around her. As the virus raged on, Lisa's hospital became a war zone. Patients filled every bed, and the ICU overflowed. The once familiar walls were now alien, masked faces replaced warm smiles, and the beeping of monitors was the only melody in the hallways. Lisa fought through the fog of exhaustion, her willpower fueling her mission to heal. Fear was an ever-present companion, but so was determination. The struggle to obtain adequate personal protective equipment, PPE, was a daily ordeal. At times, Lisa and her colleagues resorted to homemade masks and reused gloves as resources dwindled. Yet, they pressed on. They could not allow their fear to deter them from their duty. The patients, gasping for breath, looked to healthcare workers for solace and hope. Lisa met their fearful eyes with unwavering resolve, providing not just medical care but a reassuring presence, a touch of humanity in an otherwise sterile and isolating environment. The toll of the pandemic was not limited to physical health, it also devastated emotional and mental well-being. Lisa watched her colleagues, friends, and patients succumb to the virus. The weight of loss was unbearable, but in the face of adversity, she discovered a hidden reservoir of strength and resilience. Lisa and her fellow healthcare workers found solace in each other's support. They leaned on one another to carry the burden, sharing stories, tears, and laughter, forming a bond that only those who had seen the worst of humanity could understand. Outside the hospital, the world watched with bated breath. Applause and gratitude poured in for the healthcare workers, but Lisa knew the true heroes were the patients. Those who fought for their lives, battled their fears, and endured isolation from their loved ones were the unsung champions of this pandemic. Their stories of recovery became the beacons of hope that sustained Lisa and her colleagues. Part 2: A Glimmer of Light. As the pandemic continued its relentless march, Lisa saw glimmers of hope. Vaccines were developed, and the number of cases began to decline. It was a testament to the power of science and human perseverance. Yet, the battle was far from over. Even as the pandemic ebbed, its legacy lingered. Lisa and her colleagues faced the monumental task of helping patients recover not just physically but emotionally. The psychological scars of isolation, loss, and fear ran deep, and healthcare workers became healers of both body and soul. The pandemic had reshaped the world in unimaginable ways. Lisa, too, emerged from the crucible of adversity forever changed. Her commitment to healthcare deepened, and she dedicated herself to promoting health awareness and preparedness. The pandemic had exposed the fragility of healthcare systems and the need for collective resilience. Lisa's story was not unique. It was a reflection of the countless healthcare workers who had stood together, unwavering in their mission to save lives. Their collective struggle and triumph had a profound impact on the world, reminding everyone of the power of unity, compassion, and the indomitable human spirit. The pandemic had been a harsh teacher. It had revealed the strengths and weaknesses of societies, healthcare systems, and individuals. It had underscored the importance of preparedness, science, and global cooperation. As the world recovered, it had a chance to reshape the future, ensuring a safer, more resilient world. Part 3: A Message of Hope. As the world began to rebuild and heal, Lisa Mitchell's story served as a beacon of hope and inspiration. Her journey, and that of countless healthcare workers, was a testament to the extraordinary capacity of the human spirit to endure, adapt, and triumph in the face of unprecedented adversity. In the end, the pandemic had shown the world that, in the darkest of times, heroes arose not with capes but with compassion, courage, and an unwavering commitment to healing hearts and saving lives. Lisa Mitchell's journey embodied the struggle, motivation, and inspiration of a healthcare worker during a pandemic, reminding us that even in the midst of the darkest storms, the human spirit could shine brightly. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Healing Hearts: A Healthcare Worker's Pandemic Odyssey. In a world gripped by an unprecedented pandemic, healthcare workers stood on the front lines, their unwavering commitment and resilience the only glimmer of hope for millions. This is the story of one such healthcare worker, Dr. Nancy Reynolds, who faced the challenges of a lifetime as she battled the chaos and devastation of a global health crisis. Part 1: A Humble Beginning. The story of Nancy Reynolds starts in a small, sleepy town in the heart of America. Born into a family of healthcare professionals, she always knew she wanted to make a difference in the world. Her father, a dedicated surgeon, and her mother, a compassionate nurse, instilled in her a deep sense of purpose. From a young age, she witnessed their unwavering dedication to their patients, and it left an indelible mark on her heart. Nancy's journey began in medical school, where she absorbed knowledge like a sponge. Her determination and passion set her apart from her peers. It was her dream to become a pediatrician and heal the tiny hearts of the world. Little did she know that a global pandemic would test her mettle and resilience in ways she could never have imagined. As Nancy completed her residency and stepped into the world as a full-fledged pediatrician, the world remained relatively stable. She built a reputation for her dedication and ability to connect with young patients. Life was good, and her patients thrived under her care. But the calm before the storm was only an illusion, a deceptive pause before the world would be plunged into chaos. The year was 2020 when a novel coronavirus emerged, rapidly spreading across borders. Panic and uncertainty gripped the world as governments scrambled to respond to the looming threat. In a matter of weeks, life as we knew it was upended, and hospitals across the globe were overwhelmed with patients in desperate need of care. As the pandemic unfurled its sinister tendrils, Nancy's hospital quickly transformed. The once tranquil pediatric ward now served as an overflow area for adult COVID-19 patients. Nancy and her colleagues faced an overwhelming wave of critically ill individuals, a stark contrast to the laughter and smiles of the children they were used to treating. Part 2: The Challenges Mount. The challenges were relentless. Medical supplies were scarce, and healthcare workers were overworked and under-protected. Nancy, like her colleagues, worked tirelessly, her days blending into nights as she fought to save lives. The emotional toll of witnessing patients suffer and, in some cases, succumb to the virus, was a burden she carried heavily. In the midst of the chaos, Nancy found solace in her team. The camaraderie and support they provided were her lifeline. Together, they improvised solutions, shared resources, and lifted each other's spirits. As the days turned into weeks and then months, they faced each new challenge with unwavering determination. Outside the hospital, Nancy's personal life also felt the strain of the pandemic. She missed family gatherings, birthdays, and holidays, choosing instead to stay isolated to protect her loved ones. The demands of her profession weighed heavily on her, but she understood that the sacrifices were necessary. There were moments when despair threatened to engulf Nancy. The relentless pressure, the inability to save every patient, and the isolation took a toll on her mental health. She watched colleagues battle the same demons, and they formed a support group to lean on each other in their darkest hours. Nancy's journey mirrored that of countless healthcare workers around the world. The pandemic tested their limits, but it also revealed their remarkable resilience. Despite the exhaustion and despair, Nancy and her colleagues pressed on, determined to make a difference. Part 3: A Glimpse of Hope. As the months passed, a glimmer of hope emerged. Vaccines were developed, and vaccination efforts began in earnest. Hospitals gradually saw a decline in the number of COVID-19 cases. Nancy and her team worked tirelessly to administer vaccines, bringing a renewed sense of purpose to their battle against the virus. The pandemic had changed the world in profound ways. For healthcare workers like Nancy, it had reshaped their profession and their lives. They had witnessed the worst of humanity, but also its incredible capacity for compassion and sacrifice. The experience had left scars, but it had also forged stronger, more resilient individuals. Conclusion: the healing continues. The story of Dr. Nancy Reynolds is one of struggle, motivation, and inspiration. She navigated the treacherous waters of a global pandemic, faced insurmountable challenges, and emerged on the other side with a renewed sense of purpose and an unwavering commitment to healing hearts. Her journey, like that of countless healthcare workers, serves as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. It is a story that reminds us of the power of compassion, sacrifice, and the indomitable spirit of those who heal our world. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Resilience beyond the pandemic. In a world that had been battered and bruised by the ravages of a global pandemic, people's lives had been irrevocably altered. The once familiar rhythms of daily existence had been disrupted, and the journey toward recovery had only just begun. It was a journey marked by struggles, but it was also a journey of incredible resilience, motivation, and inspiration. Part 1: The Darkest Days. The pandemic had struck suddenly and without warning, leaving the world reeling in its wake. As the virus spread rapidly, communities everywhere had to make unimaginable sacrifices. The streets grew empty, and people were confined to their homes, isolated from loved ones and the world they knew. One such individual was Janet, a nurse on the front lines. Her days were a blur of fear, exhaustion, and heartache. She witnessed firsthand the suffering and loss caused by the virus, yet she persevered, driven by a deep sense of duty and compassion. Janet's struggle was a testament to the resilience of frontline workers worldwide. As the world grappled with the pandemic, there emerged a collective spirit of resilience. Communities banded together, supporting one another with acts of kindness and solidarity. People like Marcus, a small business owner, faced the daunting task of keeping his store afloat. He adapted his business model, embracing online sales and curbside pickup, determined not to let his dreams crumble. Part 2: The New Normal. After a year of lockdowns and restrictions, the world began to slowly open up. However, the new normal was vastly different from the world they once knew. Angela, a single mother, faced the challenge of balancing remote work with her children's online schooling. The juggling act was relentless, but she found strength in the support of other parents and the resiliency of her children. With the pandemic still casting its long shadow, the world had transformed in myriad ways. The importance of public health and scientific research became more apparent than ever. Dr. Jonathan, a scientist, had spent years researching viral diseases. He now worked tirelessly to develop a vaccine, a glimmer of hope on the horizon. Vaccination campaigns rolled out across the globe, and slowly, people began to rebuild their lives. For Anthony, a restaurant owner, this marked a turning point. He faced the challenge of reopening his business, implementing new safety protocols, and rehiring staff. The road to recovery was long and fraught with uncertainty, but he refused to give up on his lifelong dream. As the world emerged from the darkest days of the pandemic, many individuals found a renewed sense of purpose. Emily, a teacher, had adapted to virtual classrooms during lockdown, but now she realized the profound impact she had on her students' lives. She embraced the opportunity to inspire and educate, knowing the importance of resilience in times of adversity. The post-pandemic world brought forth numerous lessons. From the importance of gratitude to the value of community, individuals like Ricardo, a retiree who had reconnected with old friends, discovered the beauty in the simple moments and relationships that matter most. Part 3: A Global Perspective. The pandemic had touched every corner of the world, and its effects were far-reaching. Dr. Mei Ling, a doctor who had volunteered in underserved countries during the crisis, understood the global nature of the struggle. She dedicated herself to providing medical care to those in need, reminding the world that we were all in this together. The journey was far from over, and people reimagined their lives with newfound resilience. Jane, a young artist who had struggled to find her creative spark, embarked on a project to document the stories of those who had faced adversity. Her artwork captured the essence of the human spirit's enduring strength. In the post-pandemic world, the future remained uncertain, but one thing was clear: the resilience, motivation, and inspiration that had emerged during the darkest days would continue to shape the world. The struggles faced and overcome had not only revealed the depth of human resilience but also inspired a better, more compassionate world. As time passed, the scars of the pandemic began to fade, and life returned to a semblance of normalcy. The world had been forever changed, but the indomitable human spirit had prevailed. The struggles faced during those dark days had given rise to a brighter, more resilient, and deeply inspired future. In this post-pandemic world, people had learned to cherish the moments of connection, the power of empathy, and the strength that lies within themselves. The story of resilience beyond the pandemic had become a testament to the enduring human spirit, capable of rising above any challenge, no matter how daunting. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Please hit the like button if you like this video, and hit the subscribe button to learn English through watching these kinds of interesting stories daily. Please click on the screen on any video showing on your screen to watch it next. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video till the end.